Hello, everyone. It's your boy Brandon back again with another episode of the BQ Report, episode 11. And today I'm just going to be talking about the new news that came out recently. It's about the Trump attending the football game, the U.S. Army versus the Navy football game. He attended that, I believe, yesterday or something like that. And yeah, it was pretty good. Like I watched that game too. It was pretty hectic, and everyone had a good time. It seemed like, but at the same time, this political world is getting pretty amazingly challenging and complex. Okay, it's transforming into ways we've never seen before. For example, AOC, Alexandria Ocasio Cortez, is talking about the different types of deals going on in Congress right now between legislators across the aisle. That's some great news, and she thinks that she's accomplished. She's accomplished a lot, right? But she's been talking about the things that she's accomplished within the Green New Deal and many other avenues within Congress, especially with funding and corporate lobbyists, and with regard to special deals made by like different policy places, different policy that she has like proposed and passed in the legislature. So she talked about that on her social media, on Instagram, and that a lot of people tuned in for that. I think that was around like 40,000 people tuned into that. So that's also good news. We have the Pfizer vaccine rolling in, new vaccine doses from Kalamazoo, Michigan, and they are coming to places around Michigan, around the country too, for people to use and administer as soon as possible. That's good news too. It seems like everyone wants the vaccine so they can stay safe in their skin and not have to worry about many different diseases that occur from the coronavirus. I just want to know how that works though exactly, because let's say that you have someone who has the vaccine, and then you have another person who who has the coronavirus, but then the other person took the vaccine already, and then the other person has the coronavirus disease. The question that now comes to mind is, can that person who has the virus that currently is tested positive with tested positive with the coronavirus, can that person infect the other person who is vaccinated by the Pfizer vaccine to be immune to the virus? And the struggle with figuring out what the proper solution to that is still unclear. There isn't any like further information from regarding that. I think all the information we have is that once you get the vaccine, you will be protected from the virus based off of the science behind it, including like proper immunization skills. So that, I mean, it's like any other shot. It's kind of like the flu shot, where they give you a little dose of the flu so that you can be immune to it in the future. So it might be the way that works. But yeah, that's great, fantastic news. It's showing that the pandemic is coming to an end because of what we have with the vaccine progress, and that's going up in ways we no one has really imagined, and so that's pretty good news. Also, like with the political field, and Joe Biden has been stepping up lately, appointing Lloyd Austin as a general, mentioning a lot of things. Joe Biden's wife is in the news, Jill. She has like a doctorate. She has like a PhD degree in elementary studies or something along that line. And then people have been calling her out, saying, "Okay, this is not true. We shouldn't be calling you doctor. We shouldn't. You should not have doctor in front of your name." Which I find that to be appalling. I think that if you have a PhD, you technically have that first initial, right? But I don't know. People, I guess they don't think that's like real doctor like a real doctor status to have a PhD. So who knows? I mean, she's in the news recently. Trump, I think he's been doing pretty well. I honestly like this is like the only time I've seen Trump like actually like look decently good in the news and have a positive image. But then he comes out with the tweets, and his tweets just show that he has like a lack of moral decency. And of course, the tweets are very harsh, very like offensive to people, very offensive, very harsh, very difficult, and very mean too, disruptive. So what I think he was talking about, I think that one of his tweets were about like, I can't even remember what his tweets were about, but like they were just so horrible, and like it doesn't even seem like that's him because, during the, he went to the football game, and he's perfectly fine now. Like he's good. The way that he acts, the way that he maneuvers and things, he looks pretty good. Like when according to like CNN and Fox News and all those networks that show what he's been doing recently, in terms of legislation and laws and policies, and and politics in general, he's been doing pretty well. I just think that like what he tweets should be fixed. What he tweets can be fixed. And so I mean, once he improves on that, it's too late now. But I mean, he's been showing up pretty well. Trump has been showing up pretty well in the news lately. I mean, I'm not really worried about this part of his legacy. I think this lame duck session especially is really good. It shows a great demonstration of like a good president so far. But then his tweets kind of bring it back to like, okay, maybe this guy isn't as good as, maybe he's even worse than James Buchanan, which is the worst. He's considered one of the worst presidents of all time. People are saying now that he is worse than that guy, than that president. So, I mean, I don't think that's true though. I think he's one of the worst ones that we've had in like the last century for sure. But I don't know if he's like the worst possible president of all time. That would be very interesting though to kind of figure that out through data and analytics and stuff like that. So I guess historians will figure that out sooner or later after his term ends. But I think I looked online. People are saying like he's like number like 30 on the list too. So it's like a very divided political spectrum. But it's all good now. Like I think currently he's doing pretty well in the news. And the Republican Party supports him, which is good too. But hey, those are my thoughts, on the political field right now. Feel free to disagree. Feel free to comment and subscribe. And thanks for watching.